I'm a liberal guy, but sometimes kids gotta die.
It's true.
I saw a free parking sign, thought it said free Palestine. Yeah. But a Zionist Jew, born and raised with Western views, yeah? This is self-defense, so get your neck off of me, boo, please. Ethnic, Israeli, none of your business. You what? This is my land. You can tell by me accent. Yeah. My own land is threatened. I'm from the Mina via Western, and my white skin is reddened because the sun is anti-Semitic. Arabs say gays, make all them ladies them cover their face. It's a disgrace because we love the gays. And if you don't like us, I hope you get AIDS, bitch. I'm a good guy, I'm a good guy, I'm a good guy, I'm a bad guy. Arabs are genetically predisposed to hating women. If you don't believe me, you're a fucking twat, you are. And I hope Hamas finds you, yeah? And I hope they corner you on the street, and I love all people. You can tell cause I drew a heart with the dreads of me tank. I respect all cultures, but you better be like the West or you're gonna get banked and stripped, lit up, split up, British shit, set up Jewish settlements, pick up TikTok, do a dance, but that ain't me though. Haven't I always been right by your side? Whether you're black, purple, yellow or white, even support the creation of free Palestine, I say. Pico, cut it, run it, done it, go. Good or bad, it's hard to tell. Going fast for Israel. BB is bad. Yeah. Wish he was gone so peace could be had. But this is a war. Yeah. So I support him like he was my dad. Or maybe me nan. I love me nan. I am against the occupied lands, but I trust the plan. So I'ma defend it as long as I can. These Arabs are racist. It's not a wall, it's a quarantine. Shit is contagious. It's not a genocide, it's a vaccine, it's containment, yeah? Some people think shooting fish in a barrel is courageous. Don't care what the ICJ says. Palestinians is problematic, which means they need to die. Everyone knows. It's complicated. I believe in peace, I believe in love, inequality. I believe in all that liberal stuff, which is why Palestinians should be exterminated. Oopsie daisy. More than two things can be true. Arab side matter a lot less than Jews. Borat was not as good as Borat 2, yeah. My brain hurts, cause it is leak current out of me skull. I am ugly and I am bald. Water and oil, it's my political evolution. Blood and soil, yeah. Mix them up, that's a two-state solution.
Cherry tomato and Waze USB drives and the Iron Dome. Israeli salad, koozie sensors, jumpers, orange rows. Microchips us, iPhone cameras us. Taco salads us, Obama us. Olive Garden us, White Foster us. Sabra Hamas, Hasbara sus.
Live and direct, welcome to the Bad Hasbara fundraising live stream, everybody.
Yeah, my name is Matt Lieb, and I will be your most moral live streaming fundraiser co-host for this podcast. What's your name?
You forgot to say the world's most moral.
The world's most moral podcast.
It's not so easy, huh?
No, it's hard to do your part.
It's difficult. Yeah.
Question for you, Daniel. Can you tap your mic for me?
Yeah. Hello. Am I not using the right mic?
You're using the wrong mic. Wrong mic.
You got such good ears.
I have an ear for this. This is what I do. This is what I do for a living.
Default external microphones. P audio. Is that right? Is this better?
Yeah, that's it, baby.
Everyone prefer that? That hit you in the sweet spot?
You see, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, everyone else. On this podcast, we like to do a pre-record. And why is that, you ask? Because sometimes tech issues. No one needs to see that. People want to see straight content. They don't
we don't want to see us arguing and bickering about who did what.
That's right.
But we were backstage for 10 minutes, Matt. So you could have, you could have said something then instead of in front of everybody. And
I forgot.
Another button, Matt. Adam, you want me to lose another one? Like this?
All right, I'm doing it too.
Everyone's talking about how hot Matt is lately. I gotta step up.
Really?
Oh yeah, comments are thirsty as fuck for the Matt Man.
Finally, dude. Do you know how long I've been waiting for people to tell me that I'm beautiful? I say this as someone who understands that, I'm a solid 6. But, it's like as soon as I'm next to you, people
But that just describes your height.
Right. I'm a solid 6'6".
In LA too, says producer Adam.
I've always been in LA too.
I'm a Vancouver 11.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to say I'm very happy to have it confirmed that I am one of the most moral hosts of this show. Yesterday, Hadar, for some reason, was checking ChatGPT about Bad Hasbara. And it said, Bad Hasbara is a podcast hosted by Matt Lieb, so on and so forth. And she questioned it. She's like, are you sure it's hosted by Matt Lieb? And it said, yes, Matt Lieb is a comedian, so on and so forth. She said, is there anyone else? And it said, oh, yes, it's also hosted by Daniel Matte. She said, why did you forget about Daniel? And this is what it said. You're absolutely right to point out Daniel Matte is a co-host of the Bad Hasbara, the World's Moral podcast, alongside Matt Lieb. I apologize for not mentioning him earlier.
This is your lot in life when it comes to this podcast. And it's for better or for worse. It's for both, people like ChatGPT trying to give you credit. And it's also haters. All of the haters, they attack me, and I'm like, what the hell? Daniel Mate's right there. Please go after Daniel.
And both of our insecurities are on full display here.
Yes,
Matt's worried that he's not beautiful and lovable. I'm worried that I'm not heard or seen. And the great thing about these deep insecure needs is they can never be fulfilled. We get a hit of validation. This is why we podcast, to get unsustainable short-term hits of the dopamine that comes along with validation, which then sparks another round, and we just loop endlessly.
Forever.
And then we die.
And then we die someday.
And they put on our graves, ugly and unseen.
LA 2. Here lies an LA 2.
Here lies the son of somebody.
That's right. So who care? I want my headstone to just say who care.
Who care? I want mine to say what happened.
Yeah, what happened? So this is a very special live stream. We do these very rarely, but when we do, they're always a lot of fun. But this one, we're going to be asking people to do something. That's right. This is a fundraiser episode of Bad Hasbara. We are not just going to be doing the thing that you just saw us do. We're also going to be urging all of y'all to please donate to the Gaza City Flower Fund. Daniel, do you want to read today's sponsor?
I sure will. Someone just asked me to move the mic away. Do you concur with that request? Or
I
can
do.
Turn it down?
I do. Yeah. Turn your signal down just a little bit.
How's this? Any better?
Oh, I think that's good. Maybe meet in the middle somewhere.
I just want the mic to be as hot as we are.
Oh, yeah.
Is this good?
Perfect.
It's good.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
What number is that it at?
5 1/4.
Yeah, that's as hot as we are. We're about a 5 1/4.
Yeah, exactly.
At least I am.
We sure are. Huh?
Yes. I also have a sure. Have a sure.
Raise your hands if you're sure. Remember that deodorant ad from the 80s? Or are you too young?
Oh my God, I do remember. I remember sure, unsure.
Wow.
That was like the updated 90s version of it.
That sounds like a more Seinfeldian coded 90s.
Could be.
Yeah. Anyway, the Gaza City Flower Fund, which is why we are gathered here today, is raising money to feed up to 250 families in and near Gaza City with 2-kilogram sacks of flour purchased at disaster premium prices and given directly to hungry families. I never know if disaster premium prices means the prices are jacked up or there's a discount. Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's especially why.
Yes. So I was able to get some more information from both Mohsen and from Harley, who has been helping Mohsen. Harley is someone out in the UK who has been coordinating with Mohsen for over a year now, trying to figure out ways to get money into Gaza directly. And there's been a bunch of different iterations of, how the money is getting there. But I got kind of a breakdown of how it all works. essentially, well, I guess the important thing about it is that right now, the way, obviously, with, if you're watching any coverage of what's happening with GHF, which is, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, which is just is a front for Israel and the United States to shoot at families who are trying to get aid.
That's the not so nice version of a thirst trap.
Yes, exactly. Wow. And so it is, as you can imagine, incredibly hard to get any kind of food aid or water aid in Gaza right now. And there are families in Gaza, prominent families, and also criminals and whatnot, who have stockpiles. And sort of the only way that a lot of these areas, especially in North Gaza and Gaza City, the only way people are able to efficiently get it is if someone buys a bunch of it. So that is what this is. We're trying to, through any means possible, get people to, purchase, to give Mohsen enough money for him and his comrades to buy and distribute flour for all the families in need.
And before anyone says that we're repeating Israeli talking points by pointing out that there are people who are stockpiling and hoarding, name me another situation in history where an entire population is deprived and there didn't
Right.
and end up being some.
Yeah.
I mean that's what these conditions
Yes,
create.
this
And as Mohammed Al-Kurd points out, Palestinians don't need to be perfect, non-human angels, superhuman angels for us to want to end their oppression.
And also beyond that, it's like, well, number one, the people who are stockpiling are not Hamas. So that's first and foremost. Even if I mean, to me, the idea of even having to say that is kind of annoying for anyone who's just like, hey, that's, but if you know anything about the history of, let's say, the Holocaust, you know that similar things were happening no matter where you are in a war zone. You were going to be dealing with this. And sometimes you just have to say, hey, this is the reality that people are living with, and they need fucking aid. It's not to blame anyone. It's blaming it's blaming the Israeli government for starving these people. And one way or another, barring trying to take a flotilla into Gaza, only for it to be immediately, absconded with by the Israeli government. This is how one way we know people are getting aid directly to them.
So speaking of getting them direct aid, what is the move for our listeners?
Yes.
What should they be doing throughout this live stream besides clicking like, subscribe, and sharing the F out of this podcast, this live stream, which you need to be doing? It'll help the algorithm. It'll help more people find us, which will then help get more money to the Gaza City Flower Fund. What can people do, Matt? They go to this link, bit.ly /Gaza Flower Fund.
Yes. If you do that, you can donate directly to it. Obviously, we have never done like a live stream fundraiser before. So I wish we could do one of those, like those awesome, the bar, across the screen. That's just like, if we hit this, amount, then the screen explodes and it's a candy party or whatever. I can't do that.
I think I'm going to actually close up a couple of buttons and say that if we're satisfied with the rate of donations, it'll be more of a chest hair party. But I'm not just giving this shit away for free. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely.
So right now, currently, we are at 18,175 pounds on the Bitly link on the chuffed.org project.
Quid, if you will.
Quid, yes, or whatever they say. What's the other one they say? Stone? Doesn't matter.
That's weight.
That's weight, isn't it? I'll be able to see by the end of this podcast how many, more quid you guys have donated. Also, you can do super chats. Or like whatever the thing is on YouTube where you like give money and then you say words. You can do that. All of the funds from this live stream is going to be donated directly to the Gaza City Flower Fund.
And we will do our best to read out the super chats, which
Yeah, we're
by
really going to
rights
try.
we should do, you know.
Yeah, we're going to try really, really hard.
But we're going to be talking also a lot and ignoring you a lot. So
Yes.
we'll try to balance ignoring you with not ignoring you.
We're going to do our best, guys. Listen, I am not in my usual studio. I have to hold my mic. I mean, shit is different.
Yeah.
Shit is different. But I want to first play a little bit. This is from Mohsen's Instagram account, just showing, him distributing the aid and what, so people can see.
تم بحمد الله توفير كمية من الطحين في طريق
Goes him.
مدينة غزة بالمشاركة مع طريق تهير جلوبال إن شاء الله سنوزعهم على النازحين في شمال مدينة غزة.
من كل قلب خير تبدأ حكايتنا.
I don't know if we'll get copyright struck for the music, so I'm not sure. It would suck if this live stream ended because I played a song. But you got a little bit of it in your head.
Yeah.
But this is them distributing flour directly to families, and a lot of people do ask. So I get DMs sometimes about some of the charity organizations that we shout out at the top of each episode about like how they work. And the truth of it is that with a lot of them, I know of them as legit charities. We get them from a list of like legit charities that do good work in Gaza. And we just shout them out. We go with it. It is nice to see with this, direct action. What you're seeing is not just, is not a large charitable organization, with tons of, nonprofit workers in the nonprofit industrial complex. What you're seeing here is mutual aid.
Yeah.
And, we're at a moment right now where this is what we need to be seeing happening, because
Absolutely what we need.
it is really bleak. It's really bleak out there. And this episode is no different. There's going to be a bleak one, guys. Shit's fucked.
But we're going to try to keep it spicy.
Unfucked.
Unfucked. We're going to try to unfuck the world with this episode.
That's right. Daniel, before we talk about the fuckery, what's the spin?
Well, I got to start with the late and absolutely great Ziad Rabbani. I thought I had included him in What's the Spin before, but he's not on the playlist. So I hope he will be on the playlist subsequent to this, to our lovely playlist sponsor. Ziad Rahbani, sorry. This is his album Hudu Nisbi. A brilliant, genius Lebanese composer, arranger, singer, instrumentalist, the son of Feiruz, who's up there behind me.
Oh, cool.
And produced many of her albums, wrote a lot of her later stuff. And his shit is the funkiest shit you've ever heard. It's jazz, fusion, disco mixed with traditional Arabic music. And he died, I think, on Saturday in his late 60s of a heart attack. And he's just, he's a hero in Lebanon. I've only discovered him really since this podcast began. The rest of the spin are sort of minor callbacks or podcast-related things. Number one, we talked about Mandy Patinkin on the last Patreon episode that I was on.
That's right.
And so here's the Sunday in the Park with George original cast recording, a Sondheim musical that won the Pulitzer Prize in 1984. And Mandy Patinkin starred in it as George Seurat, the French pointillist painter, alongside Bernadette Peters. And Brent Spiner of Star Trek The Next Generation, who played Data, was also in that original cast.
I love me some Brent Spiner. I like him when
it's a wonderful show.
He played the scientist in Independence Day who gets choked out by the alien and is like, "Release me."
Maybe
Remember
we can
that?
do it. Yeah, I do. Maybe we can do a What's the Spiner segment where we just
What's
do
the
our
Spiner?
favorite Brent Spiner roles.
That's a great idea.
Because this guy on this album cover looks exactly like our guest, I included Darkness on the Edge of Town. Especially now that Jasper has shaven. I think it's uncanny, actually.
Yeah, it is weird. He does look like Springsteen. That's damn. I never noticed that before.
Do you remember maybe on the same episode as Patinkin, we talked about Daniela Weiss?
Yes.
And do you remember I started making like rock pop music puns?
I mean, I don't, not specifically
Yeah.
those puns that I
Yeah.
remember, but yes, you do that. You have a tendency.
I said, you're as cold as Weiss.
Yeah.
And then I realized there's actually an album called Cold as Weiss by the Delvon Lamar organ trio.
That's great.
I think, Weiss is the drummer on this album.
Nice.
Daniel Weiss and Cold as Weiss. I had to include it. And then finally, Matt, everyone who watches this show knows that your genitals are a major topic of conversation.
Sí, bien.
And there's an album named after one of your main unit, The Most Exciting Organ Ever by Billy Preston.
Oh, I love Billy Preston. Nothing from Nothing Leaves Nothing.
Right. And do you know what album by a very famous band he played on before Nothing from Nothing?
Let It Be.
Correct. He's the organist on Let It Be. And he was part of that rooftop concert.
He's like one of the, one of the 5 fifth Beatles.
That's right.
Like there's so many fifth Beatles out there. Some people are like, it's Eric Clapton.
Remember that great Eddie Murphy sketch from Saturday Night Live? He's like, yeah, I was the fifth Beatle. If the original title of She Loves You was She Love You, Man. And if you play it backwards, we'll see. And they play it backwards, and you hear Paul going, hey, John. Oh, no, you hear John going, hey, Paul, let's fire Clarence and steal all his great ideas.
That's great. That sounds like a good sketch.
That's the spin.
So that's what's spinning in the Mate household. All right, it is time to bring on our guest, and it is a returning champion, a amazing journalist who has a great Substack that you should all be following at Infinite Jazz, Jaz.
Yeah, Infinite_Jazz on some platforms, I think.
Yeah, we'll post a link to it, but everyone should be subscribed to his Substack. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, please welcome back to the podcast, Jasper Nathaniel.
Hello.
What's up? Born in the USA. I see it.
No, I spent the last 2 minutes seeing if I could muster an impression of him to come on as Bruce, but I couldn't do it. So
It's all right.
I've never been told that before. Never.
Just on this album cover.
Yeah.
Maybe this is even better. Look at that.
Oh.
Which is crazy because that means the guy who plays the bear in the TV show The Bear.
Right. Yeah, Jeremy Allen White.
Yeah, so you actually do kind of look like him, dude. That's crazy, dude.
Really?
That's crazy. I mean, no, you're more, I would say, like classically handsome, whereas he is like hard to look at for me.
He's there's a name for it.
Is it
like rat face hot or something?
Oh, is he a rat boy?
Rat boy. Yeah,
He's a rat boy.
Yeah, he's like the rat boy.
I thought the rat boy was what's that little Wonka kid? Timothy Chalamet. I thought he was rat boy, but I might be wrong because now that I think about it, he's more mouse than rat.
Adrian Brody is kind of rat boy.
I feel like
he's something. He's in his category of his own, I think.
I'm gonna, you know what? I'm sorry to do this to you, Daniel, but I'm going to have to play the alert.
There's no anti-Semitism in the United States.
As Mohammed El-Kurd said, it's not my fault Jews have been compared to every unpleasant animal in the universe. I can't help it.
Yeah, it's true. You didn't invent it.
Producer Adam says, no one disrespects Carmi on this podcast. To that I say, thank you, Chef.
Yes. I'm just saying he's like got those faces where he looks French, but he's not French. I don't know what that's about. Jasper, thank you for coming on. We've got obviously a lot to talk about. Your Substack has, for me, been a place of getting. It's one of the rare instances where you're getting real news and real analysis. And every time I read it, you just start to realize how bad things actually are. They're so much worse than even, than you can gain from just going through a Twitter timeline and seeing people sharing bad videos. You give this like context that you don't see outside of, anything else really.
And how bad they are everywhere. Like your reporting really covers the map because of all the time you've spent in the West Bank. And we want to hit several stories that you've been covering. By the way, anyone who has not heard Jasper's interview on the Chapo Trap House podcast, which we've also been guests on, it's a go through there. Someone in the comments
No big
said,
deal.
Daniel has intellectual securities and always needs to let people know how much he's included in and how much he knows, which I'm not going to dispute. My therapist knows that's true. But your interview was better than ours, I would say, and it was comprehensive and fulsome and probably a deeper dive into some of these stories than we're going to have time on this show, but everyone should go check it out. Where do we want to start, Matt, in terms of Jasper's reporting?
Well, there's a few places we could go, but I think right now what's going on with the GHF is of particular relevance. So if you could, well, I guess maybe I'll start with the more recent panic that I've seen. I don't even know if you'd call it a panic, but right now I have not seen since like for 22 months now. This is the first time I've seen people start the process of trying to cover their asses for complicity during a genocide. And it's been kind of shocking to watch because again, it's like where were you this entire time? I wanted to ask first and foremost if you can, Jasper, explain what's different about this moment do you have any theories about why people are choosing now, like, Hillary Clinton or Cory Booker, are putting out these mealy-mouthed, half statements. Obama, where they refuse to name who exactly is doing anything.
And he would really like to see an end eventually to Israel's quote-unquote military operations in Gaza.
Yes. So do you happen to know, or do you have any guesses as to what is different about this moment?
Yeah, I do actually. And I don't know. I have theories. And I've done a lot of reporting on this in the last couple of days because I actually have a story coming out soon about the propaganda apparatus of the GHF.
Yeah.
So make sure to subscribe to my Substack, Infinite Jazz, to get that. But basically, at some point in the last week, I think, or maybe the last 10 days or so, I think that the people on the ground in Gaza, whether that's the IDF and the GHF and just the powers that be, realized we are not going to, like, the starvation has become undeniable,
right?
And we will not be able to obfuscate it anymore. And so they had been, like, if you look at the GHF's Twitter account, by the way, I'm recovering from a cold, so forgive my voice. If you look at the GHF's Twitter account, they had been for weeks just talking about all the meals they were giving out and sharing these heartwarming videos and
yes.
Denying the massacre, denying that had anything to do with the massacres. Then very abruptly last week, they actually started acknowledging that the humanitarian situation was getting worse.
Right.
Right around that same time, you started to see all the Hasbara accounts on Twitter start to say, actually, yeah, there is starvation. And
it's the UN's fault.
Well, so that's what I was going to say. So they all basically rallied around this particular story that actually, yes, there is starvation, but it's the UN's fault. The UN has decided not to deliver, hundreds of trucks of aid that Israel has already allowed in. Now, the reality, I don't think I have to dispel propaganda for your audience, but just to briefly gloss it, the GHF was installed to replace the UN's aid apparatus that had existed for decades, that operated hundreds of sites across Gaza and had delivered aid safely and securely for many, many, many years. And there was a really intense, coordinated smear campaign orchestrated by Israel, supported by pretty much every mainstream outlet. Adam Johnson, the journalist who writes the column Substack, had a piece about how the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal really were laundering these bogus claims. But basically, the claim was UNRWA, the UN agency, had been like infiltrated by Hamas, and some huge percentage of members of workers for UNRWA had participated in the October 7th attacks and blah blah blah, and they used that as their justification for dismantling that aid apparatus and then bringing in the GHF in its place, which, to be clear, and this is not an exaggeration, it is a mercenary outfit.
Yeah,
I mean, this was developed by intelligence and military contractors, staffed by mercenaries, and like it sounds crazy, but also, for those who are not like familiar with the humanitarian world, there are like strict ethical principles that a humanitarian foundation has to abide by.
Right.
And they are the complete opposite, literally the complete opposite of a mercenary's or a military's objectives. There are
also principles of famine relief, like specifically food aid, and it violates all of them.
So when the GHF comes in, they get installed with support from Israel and the U.S. I think the U.S. gave like $30 or $60 million to it recently, and Trump is upset that he didn't get a thank you for it. But when that happened, they very quickly, the massacres started happening right away, basically. So what was happening is like they went from having hundreds of distribution sites around Gaza to having 4. And this is after, a months-long blockade. So people are already starving. Mm-hmm. So exactly what literally every single aid agency was saying, this is a recipe for disaster. Yeah. And you don't even have to say, like, I'm honestly going to like not even speculate on whether the goal was to actually mow down starving Palestinians, like if it was supposed to be a killing field, because the goal was obviously, like, clearly to concentrate Palestinians in the south where these aid sites were, and to force them to come through these militarized checkpoints. And it was just inevitable that chaos was going to erupt, especially when the Israeli soldiers started shooting into crowds.
Right.
And they're reporting in Haaretz that they literally were using gunfire as their communication.
Right.
Like they start shooting at the crowd to say stop,
in Morse code.
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
And then they stop shooting and they can come. And so people are getting mowed down every single day. So anyway, I'm getting off track, but basically, like, in the last 2 weeks, I mean, the situation has just gotten materially worse, is my understanding.
Yeah.
Like famine is something that builds over time, and then it hits a tipping point, and then people start dying. And once that happens, you can't just feed them. Like, it's not like somebody who's starving to death. You can just, hand them a piece of bread and they'll eat. Like, they need medical care because their organs have, their body has started to burn through its fat, or it has already burned through their fat, and then it starts burning through its muscle to try to get energy, and then the organs begin to shut down.
Right. And what happens is the immune system
goes, and if you're a child or a baby, your brain stops developing. Yeah. So basically, I think what happened is it just, the material situation on the ground changed to the point that the people who are operating the communications for GHF, who I think it's safe to say are coordinating with Israel, with the Hasbara operation, said, okay, we have to shift our messaging because, like, the pictures are going to come out. The New York Times is getting ready to do a story about it. It's about to change. And so overnight they start saying they have this truck story, 950 abandoned trucks right across the border. And I think that basically, people followed suit. I think in some cases, they got their talking points. Like the piece that was published in Barry Weiss's Free Press was written by Amit Siegel, who is basically like a stenographer for Netanyahu.
Right.
I love that Amy Klobuchar was waiting to see what the mercenaries had to say before she spoke up. It's like, I'll take my cue from the military contractors that are shooting people.
Exactly.
When they're ready to call it starvation.
Yeah. So I think that basically the messaging changed, and then it trickled down. And as soon as like politicians started both seeing the messaging change, and also I think I don't think AIPAC's, their position changed, but I think it became clear like it's safe to at least acknowledge their starvation now.
Sure.
There will not be the same sort of political repercussions. Of course, most of them have not pointed the blame at Israel. But so I think it's a combination of the situation on the ground got worse. There was a concrete, abrupt shift in messaging from the GHF and from Israel, and then everybody sort of just followed suit. I think.
I would like to ask all of our people watching to put in the chat, and if you would put it as a super chat, that would be even better, because then that'll be money going to the Gaza City Flower Fund. Just a reminder, please keep donating as you're listening. Please like, share, subscribe. I think we need a new, let's keep the acronym GHF, but what does it really stand for? I'd say go home fuckers.
I think I heard Will Menaker say something like
Gaza Holocausts,
something.
Freelancers.
Freelancers.
Something like
Perfect.
that,
yeah. Genocidal Holocaust freelancers.
Yeah. Come up with your best GHF puns in the super chats and donate, please.
Yeah, so just the last thing I just want to add to that is like, what makes this whole thing just extra infuriating is that the message that the GHF has now begun pushing out in Wall Street Journal op-eds and talking points from Mike Huckabee and the State Department is that the UN is choosing not to deliver aid. Right. So to be clear, the GHF was instrumental in shutting down the UN's entire network. And now that they have been exposed as, fraudulent and murderous, they are now blaming the UN, who they shut down, for not being able to deliver the aid. I should say, I don't think it's working. I mean, I think like only the, most zealotous supporters of Israel are buying it.
Right.
Even Israeli television. Did you see the exchange on like Channel 12 or something like that, where there was a woman reporting that she'd been to the border and she'd seen where they were putting, humanitarian material from the trucks into giant pits and burning it. She'd seen it with their own eyes. Israel's doing this and claiming that it had expired.
Yeah. That's what they're saying. They're saying
the Pampers had expired. They were past their best buy date,
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, you were saying before how, like, in my newsletter, I try to sort of sweep up everything that's happening and contextualize it. But I have to say, like, as somebody who does try to cast as wide a net as I can and capture all the important stories and tie them together in a sort of coherent way, there is so much that is left on the cutting room floor, so to speak.
Yeah.
So much that is happening that is just so nefarious and sinister and cruel that I'm not able to include. And in the case of the UN, like, this is something that I think has barely made it out. One of the really bad.
Thank you, Kyle, for the $100 donation.
Yes.
Thanks, Kyle. There was like one of the worst massacres yet of aid seekers, like a week or two ago. 81 people were killed, and that was quite literally because the World Health Organization, which is part of the UN, agreed to go with an approved route that the IDF had given them in coordination with the GHF. And it was an absolute disaster, and it ended up in like a rush where 81 people were killed. And so that is an example of like how the UN, who had been saying we refuse to work with the GHF because you guys are murderers, the UN then said, okay, we'll try it. We'll try it your way. And it resulted in 81 people being murdered. Yeah. And now the GHF is pointing at the UN and saying, we'll even, protect you. We'll provide security. We'll do this and that. And it is so grim. I don't even know where to.
Yeah. And it's hard to like figure out, like, with a lot of this, some of it is just, it's so like devious and conniving and evil. It's all of the words. It's every description of every, supervillain in every comic book ever made that you sometimes want to, you don't even know if it's prudent to ascribe how much malice is always the question, where you go like, is the GHF doing this to be making a killing field? Are they doing this
or just making a killing?
Yeah, or just making a killing, and it gets to the point, at least with me, where there's almost no point in trying to parse what is what's a fuck up and what is doing it because they're Nazis, And
I think that's a really good and important point, Matt, because the trolls will show up in my replies and be like, are you telling me that you think they actually formed this foundation, it did blah 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 blah, so that they could murder all these people? And I think it's like, it almost doesn't matter,
right?
Because everybody warned them that that's exactly what would happen.
Yes.
If you create a militarized humanitarian, like you put 4 distribution points in a population of, who knows how many now, around 2 million of starving people, and you staff it with mercenaries and IDF soldiers, everybody knew exactly what would happen.
Yes.
And so whether or not the plan was to, actually kill all of them, it just doesn't matter.
It's completely consistent with what happens in every imperialist foreign military intervention.
Right.
I don't know if the U.S. planners meant to turn Iraq into a sectarian basket case.
Yeah.
But it was completely and totally predictable. Same thing. I don't know if their master plan was to turn Libya into a place with open slave markets.
Right.
But like the logic of military intervention, treating a place like a problem and saying we're going to solve it with guns, even humanitarian aids at the point of a gun.
Right.
That's what armies produce. And when you mix that with the capitalist profit motive,
right,
forget about it.
And like a lot of these questions remind me of during the Shireen Abu Akleh murder. There was sort of this, I would say, liberal Zionist talking point that I would see bandied about, which was, well, it was most likely an accident, because why would the Israeli government deal with the PR headache of doing a murder? And I just remember thinking, like, the idea that in, let's say, the Nazi Holocaust, you had to like parse out did Hitler order this particular murder or massacre, or was this just some Nazi who accidentally killed it's like no one's parsing that. At the end of the day, we all know that the Israeli army has no scruples about murdering Palestinians because they don't consider them to be human beings. And so the idea that you would give any, benefit of the doubt to the idea of like, well, what's intentional and what is, what is coming from the top down and what is just the act of some rotten. It's like, to me, it's all excuses, and it's and it's not going to hold up in the International Criminal Court.
And the answer, obviously, is it's both. In some cases, you have, particularly sadistic commanders, like the guy who was commanding the group that literally executed 11 aid workers or whatever it was in Rafah a couple months ago. Like that guy was particularly sadistic. He ordered his men to execute these people. In other cases, I think honestly, in fairness, there are commanders who are not giving orders to execute every person you see.
Sure.
But they are going into these missions like in the best case scenario with no regard whatsoever for Palestinian lives, and they're just unbelievably trigger happy. They know they'll never be punished, so they're coming out shooting and they're killing people. So at the
very best, you have military or Israeli governmental people who care about protocols and norms.
Yeah,
at the very, very best, and there's very few of those left. But like they want to hold on to their self-concept as the most moral army.
Yeah, no, I think that's true. I mean, there was this like the story that sort of stuck out for me recently. There was a killing in the West Bank. Soldiers just like stormed into a house and literally like shot a teenager in his bed and killed him. And he wasn't even a suspect of anything. And the father said in an interview that he heard, right after it happened, he heard the soldiers arguing. And one of them was like, what the fuck's wrong with you? You're an idiot. Why'd you do that? and like it sounded like the way like a group of friends would argue if like one of their friends just like did something stupid. Like, why'd you do that, man? What's wrong with you? It's like you just murdered a child,
right?
And I think that in that case, it was like we shouldn't have done that,
right?
But they were treating it as a whoopsie daisies,
right?
Like
exactly.
So again, it really, and it's the same thing, frankly, with the genocide debate. Right. It's like, I mean, obviously, I think we all know where we all stand on it, but it's like every member of the IDF doesn't have to be trying to kill every single person they encounter for the operation as a whole to be a genocidal one, trying to annihilate an entire people.
And it ultimately, it does matter that it's a genocide, but even if it was decided that the term doesn't apply, it would still be the worst crime of the 21st century. Right. I don't care what you call it.
Right.
I do care what you call it. But it's not the ultimate thing. The ultimate thing is saying that this is far beyond the pale of anything. And there's no justification for it in any case. And no country that does this has the right to security, safety, never mind the bogus right to exist.
And I think that it's important, like context, the genocide debate, whatever, bad faith actors want to call it, oh, it's not a genocide, it's this or that. I think this is important context for one of the reasons why you see, at least on a PR level, the winds shifting a bit, at least with among these DC politicians who, put out these mealy-mouthed statements. It's because when it comes to the last 22 months of war crimes that we've seen, blown up children and, kids with their limbs, double amputees, it's just like all of this stuff they can explain it away, as like, well, this is collateral damage of war, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
You see the amount of starvation. The photos of starving children and, starving just people, the videos of people trying to get aid, getting, bullets shot at them. And then it becomes immediately undeniable because of the fact that it's one thing to say, oh, well, that child was killed because, well, we were doing, we were bombing this building trying to get this one guy. It's another thing entirely to kick out all of the aid organizations, along with all of their institutional knowledge, doing a brain drain of people who know how to get food into a crisis zone, supplanting it with some bullshit, and then everyone starts dying of starvation and malnutrition. And then you have photos of it. It's like you can no longer deny what's right in front of you. It's the difference between a famine and a campaign of mass starvation as a weapon. It was like, I think it was the difference between those things have been talked about a lot, at least when it comes to like the IRA and Irish people talking about the potato famine is not a famine, and not it's the case of, is this because the crops didn't come in because we had a particularly bad winter in Gaza? No, it's a case of the Israeli government making sure that it's a policy of people not getting food. It's a policy of people not getting aid. That is genocidal by definition.
Do you know which organization? I was very surprised to see this. Not that it happened, but that it hadn't happened. You know which organization yesterday came out and called it a genocide for the first time?
B'Tselem.
B'Tselem.
Yeah.
And I am with people who say getting mad at celebrities for not having spoken about it sooner is understandable. It's an understandable emotion. And probably it's not something we should harp on for too long. Like, we have to manage our own anger and frustration and just welcome whoever's on the boat now, because eventually if the whole world is on it, then it will end, But when it comes to B'Tselem, I was just, their statement, which I'm sure was geared to an Israeli crowd, said something like, this is our genocide. It's people who live here doing it to people who live here. And they said, we know it sounds inconceivable. And I'm like,
Yeah.
don't fucking baby these people. It does not. It sounds eminently conceivable.
It sounds like the most conceivable thing.
Nothing has ever been more conceivable in the history of conception.
I've been done conceived it. I've been done. This baby been born. Okay.
Yeah, those ovaries are in heat.
Yeah, exactly. This is so conceived. I'm in menopause right now. I mean, again, I agree with your point about like now, really. But at the same time, when I saw that, I was just like, okay, good. You know,
It
good.
is okay, good. It is okay, good. It's just I have these these side thoughts.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would. Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just wondering if we might want to switch gears slightly.
Well, I mean, let's definitely switch gears. But before we do, there's just a few media things.
Do we have the Tommy Viador thing?
Oh no, but that's good. I think that is a good discussion to have. But I wanted to play, like we were talking earlier about the Hasbara, especially around GHF, or very specifically their PR strategy, which seems to me to be the most like it's very Trump. I don't know what other way to put it, but it's like they have the same guys who write all of Trump's PR messaging. It's
You're gonna hate me for this, Matt, but I have a piece coming out about this in the next couple days.
Oh,
I can't.
You can't get into it
yet. It hasn't gone through legal and that kind of thing
okay,
yet. So
that's fine.
But that's a great reason to subscribe to my Substack, though.
Everyone subscribe to his Substack.
Subscribe to the Substack, everyone.
And how many likes do we have? And speaking of subscriptions, subscribe to our YouTube. How many likes do we have on the stream? I'm not asking this for validation. I'm asking for algorithmic boosting. Adam, can you check on that? Because we have 583 people watching.
Yeah,
likes really do help.
Yeah. Everyone, put a like in there. Do that. But okay.
But go ahead.
We'll hold off on that because you have a piece about their PR strategy. Let's just.
But maybe Matt, I'll just say like your speculation that this is like I don't even want to repeat what you said. But your speculation is not far off. I mean, it's a sophisticated operation with some. It's gonna. What do they say? It's shocked but not surprised. It's gonna be that type of a thing.
My name is Matt Lieb. I'm a news speculator.
Yeah. I think this is my son and partner, Daniel Mate. All right. Well, maybe we'll do like a brief talk about the Tommy Vitor.
Because this is a great example of the genre of I'm only talking about this now, and I'm gonna fucking. It's kind of like in the vein of ContraPoint's statement, but from a pod save lib.
I want to just say before you get. I think you're pulling up the thread with him and Felix. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, just his tweet, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I know you're going to pull up. Just in fairness, I think it's worth saying, like, Tommy Vitor, I have a lot of issues with him, with just the Obama bros in general, but he has been calling out the genocide for some time.
Has he? Okay.
Long before anyone in the Democratic Party was comfortable doing it. He's a foreign policy guy. And it seems, I don't know him. It seems that he's not sort of like ideologically, bound to Zionism. He's been calling it a genocide and calling it out for what it is for some time. Having said all that, I think that what you're going to show is like what it's like to still be glued to this party.
Right. Like, has he been calling out his former boss, Obama, for his mealy-mouthness about it?
I haven't heard.
Is he able to break away from the
But I just think that's important context, that like what you're about to show is not one of these 100%. Like rules that has been
And I think actually this is like part of the this is part of the issue that I kind of had with this was that my response to his statement. So I'll read the statement for people who hadn't read it. He said, tweeting "I told you so" at people who change their mind about what's happening in Gaza does nothing to help the kids who are being starved to death. Welcome people into the tent, build a bigger coalition, and use it to force political change.
Okay, that's kind of what I just said.
Yes, right. Here's the problem that I had with it while I was reading it was that the idea of like tweeting at someone, "I told you so," is some sort of widespread thing that's happening to just some Joe Schmo who's like, "Oh man, this Palestine thing seems like a genocide."
Exactly.
No, I had only seen people tweeting "I told you so" or tweeting snarkily about people who are just now speaking up, or not even speaking up, but saying the first thing they've ever said. I've only seen that happening to elected officials and media pundits who, like, I mean, I saw this with Barry Weiss. Barry Weiss having a piece in the Free Press about how, like, there's starvation happening and this is bad.
And that's not an "I told you so." If you push back on that, that's not "I told you so."
Yeah, and I wasn't referring to Tommy Vitor when I wrote this. I think he might have took it that way, but I wasn't. I was talking about people like Barry Weiss or people like Hillary Clinton or Cory Booker who are writing these statements that I've been talking about. But what I said to him was like, I, of course, extend grace to the millions of people who, for the first time, are seeing images coming out of Gaza in which it makes it abundantly clear that there's a mass starvation campaign, and having those people go like, "Oh shit, I guess all those genocide people were right the whole time." Why would I extend that grace to people who spent the last 21 months making sure that people never saw those images,
right?
Or people who would they made their entire thing either being completely silent about it or doing nothing but running cover for the Israeli government,
or actively supporting it.
Yes, or actively supporting it.
I mean, like Dan Goldman, all these guys were, like paying for the bombs.
Yes. Shout out to Preston, $100 donor. Preston, you rule, dog. We love you.
Did you read his comment? Because my sister Emma texted me. That's why I was laughing while you were talking. What he wrote.
Oh yeah. What was the comment? If you can find it,
I'll just
Adam.
Read it. My sister sent me a text. It says, "I came to donate flour. I didn't know y'all were serving up 3-layer beefcake." I think that we are the 3 layers of the beef.
Well, we're the 3 layers, dude. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's
beef 3 ways. Do we? Let me just show this. Here's the perfect clap back to Tommy. Like maybe it's overly mean to him, but I think it's right on point in terms of a certain sentiment. Adam, you sent this morning. This is Jeremy Kaplowitz, who said, "Imagine someone saying this in response to the first they came for Holocaust poem."
Yeah,
and then quote, "Okay, so now every time someone murders tens of thousands of people, I'm supposed to just know to not write several essays defending it." And when it comes to Barry Weiss, I don't know about Tommy, but when it comes to people like Barry Weiss, when it comes to sitting U.S. senators and Congress people who have been pictured with Benjamin Netanyahu, who their description of it as a starvation is not accompanied by a demand for Israel to stop starving or else we'll cut off aid. Speaking of which, Adam just told us in the private chat something interesting, not nearly the same, but breaking. Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer has announced that the UK will recognize Palestine as a state by the United Nations meeting in September unless Israel agrees to a ceasefire. Isn't that weird? The ultimatum is, if you don't agree to a ceasefire, we're going to recognize them as a state. Palestine, we're probably not going to do it.
That's hilarious. I mean, that is like a perfect encapsulation of how they think of the Palestinians. Like,
if you
like putting their like you either have to let them be alive. We're
gonna grant them legitimacy.
You have to choose one: kill them, or call them a state.
Yeah, you all right. Guess what? You better, if you do not do a ceasefire within the next 3 to 6 months, then 3 to 6 months from now, I'm going to officially declare that I'm sad that they all died.
He is also, Starmer has also officially told them, here's the punishment for killing all of them. We're gonna call it a state. Israel will be like, all right, let's just kill them all anyway. Like, it's not that bad.
Yeah,
guys, we're really sorry. We can't thank everyone personally for every single donation. There's been some big ones. There's been some small ones.
It's crazy.
No donation is too small.
Thank you,
not
the
everyone.
size of the donation; it's the motion of the ocean.
Hey.
Penis joke. Just in terms of like the VTOR stuff, he kind of like followed up with me after he was just like, kind of explaining himself. And
what did he say?
He said,
you take credit when every Tom comes out and breaks their silence, whether it's Viator or York. You think it's you.
It's not me. No. In this case, I've known he's the one pod save guy who was like loud on Palestine, whereas like the Johns were always just like
the pod Johns.
I don't know. How the Johns be.
Someone just called Keir Starmer Kid Starver. That's good.
That is very good. He wrote, "Here's what I want: the biggest possible coalition of people who might agree on nothing else to come together to put pressure on the U.S. government, the U.K., etc., to cut off weapons shipments to the IDF, intel support, diplomatic cover, etc. This doesn't mean this war won't be a litmus test for me in 2028 and many other elections. It will be, but it feels like this horrific moment is a tipping point in the global opinion, and we should seize on it." And to this, I just wrote, I said, who the fuck's stopping you? Like, by all means, anyone who has a platform, feel free to bring out every Pod Save listener to a pro-Palestine demo. It's like, feel free to call up everyone in the crooked Rolodex who is either a politician themselves or in the fucking, the nuts and bolts and the gears, the ghouls who make that shit run, the PR people and whatnot. Call them. Tell them which way the wind is blowing. Like, to me, what blows my mind about this is that I'm just like, I understand you don't want divisive language on Twitter, but that is an unreasonable ask.
I think that he's like trying. I understand the point he's trying to make, and I think it's a bad one. Basically. Yes. I think that what he's saying is we need to get politicians on our side so that they have the, just literally the political power to be able to end this. And if you're mean to them, they won't do it. And I think that like ethically and morally, that's wrong, because like if you were actively complicit in a genocide, you don't get a pat on the back at any point. But I also think, just practically speaking, like these politicians listen to money and votes.
Yes.
And they need to understand that that they're going to get voted out, and their only chance of surviving is if they turn enough on this that they don't lose they don't lose everybody who's on the fence.
Right.
And so basically what I'm saying is, like, I think Tommy has it backwards. And frankly, like, I'm not an expert on electoral politics, so maybe I'm wrong, but it seems to me that if I'm one of these politicians and I'm like, oh, that was easy, I just had to tweet, this one thing, and now everybody's on my side. Right. Like, I'm not going to then like fight against Israel.
You do not catch more liberals with honey than with vinegar. I'm sorry, that's just not how it works. Ian, thank you for the $200 Canadian donation.
How much money has been raised?
I think we're doing pretty great.
I don't know.
We'd have to look at
the
the difference between now and when we started.
When we start, at least with the Bitly link, it was 18,175, and now we're at 23,442.
That's $5,000, everybody.
Sweet.
Wow. 5,000 pounds.
Holy shit! Very good, everyone. Keep it going. That is. Damn, that's really good. And then that doesn't include all of the super chats. Everyone, I love
Oh.
you. You're doing amazing work.
There's got to be at least a couple of grand of super chats in there by now.
That's wild. But yeah, I mean, I guess like what you said, Jasper, is exactly the point I assumed he was making. Talking about like treating the politicians nicely and whatnot. And to me, I agree. It's backwards. But I also am like, I'm just so sick of this culture of critique that is about how online people be, and especially when it comes to the left, this constant, like, there are people who's have dedicated the entire genocide to their grievances with how leftists speak on issues on Twitter or on TikTok. And
That
to
was
me,
80% of ContraPoint's statement.
yes, and to me, I like look at this and I go like, Tommy and the Pod Save boys, you have a platform that speaks to a lot of liberals, and it is, I believe, your duty to make sure that they know that this is not some side issue thing, that this is the most urgent matter, and that they should be going out and they should do all of the liberal shit that they would do about anything else, calling their senator, their congressman, going to protests. Like, there's not a guy at protests who are like, oh, let me just, check your Twitter timeline for the last 22 months. And make sure that you spoke out before. No one is purity testing what podcasts you listen to at an action. If you're there, you're there. Nobody cares. So to me, this like idea of like, hey, treat everybody with kindness on the internet, and then we will have peace. I'm like, you're living in a fucking fantasy world. The truth of it is no matter how many times you yell at people like Cory Booker about their silence or their complicity, I just truly don't believe they hear it. I mean, to be honest,
Do you know,
look at AOC.
Did you see? I don't know if you saw this that I put on Twitter. So Cory Booker, actually, can you read the tweet that Cory Booker did about when he finally came out and talked about starvation? Because then I want to contextualize it.
Yes, I can find it. I can pretty much do
it.
And
for those who don't know, I'm sure most people do know, but Cory Booker, senator from New Jersey, after the ICJ had already charged the then defense minister of Israel, Yoav Gallant, of war crimes, Cory Booker invited Gallant into his office and took a photo posing with him. And then famously, he was trying to duck and hide in the picture with Netanyahu a couple weeks ago. So this is a guy that both months into it and then a year and a half into it, or almost 2 years into it, is posing with the people who are leading the genocide. So anyway, read this, and then I want to just give a little context.
It's not surprising that he's so in the tank for Israel. The hip hop nickname for New Jersey is New Jerusalem.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Look at that.
The settlers are trying to create a new Jerusalem with no Al-Aqsa Mosque. Yeah, New Jerusalem.
No, I got it. You don't have to. I get it. All right. All right. Okay, here it is. Senator Cory Booker says, witnessing the catastrophic hunger and suffering of civilians, especially children, women, the sick, and elderly in Gaza has been heartbreaking. The crisis in Gaza must be met with an immediate and drastic surge in life-saving resources, such as desperately needed food.
Surge. I'm sorry. It's just such a U.S. military coded word.
I know. We need another surge, guys. This time, not an Iraqi surge, a different surge. Let's see. Such as desperately needed food, water, and medicine, including therapeutic foods for those suffering from severe malnutrition. It is our collective moral duty to ensure that humanitarian relief reaches those who need it most urgently. The strategy of the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation has not worked. Proven methods to get humanitarian aid to those in need while preventing Diversion to Hamas must be used to flood the zone now. Every moment of delay will cost lives and cause irreparable harm to the health of children, pregnant women, and other civilians. We must do all we can to address the humanitarian crisis in Gaza as part of the strategy to save lives, decrease Hamas's influence and capabilities, release all remaining hostages, strengthen Israel's security.
Pee Wee Herman voice. Ah!
You said the magic word. Ah!
You finally said Israel.
Ah!
The only time Israel is mentioned, it's to strengthen its security, and ultimately
not to say decrease its influence and capabilities.
No.
So sorry, keep going, Matt.
Yeah. Ultimately in this war, these goals are not mutually exclusive. Rather, they go hand in hand.
Okay, so here's what I want to say. First of all, as you already pointed out, the only mention of Israel is about strengthening its security, which is like, come on. But okay, so he starts the second paragraph by saying, the strategy of the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation has not worked. Proven methods to get humanitarian aid to those in need while preventing diversion to Hamas must be used to flood the zone now. Okay, fine. Like, we agree on that. The next day, meaning yesterday, Senator Chris Van Hollen writes a letter demanding that the U.S. cut its funding to the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation on the basis that it has led to starvation across the Strip and over 1,000 people killed. 21 Democratic senators sign it. Cory Booker doesn't even sign that.
Yeah.
So even if you buy his logic that, it's not Israel's fault, but the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation is bad, even if you give him that, he didn't even use his voice to defund it. Yeah. So it's just like, talk about, not putting your money where your mouth is.
Yes.
And, just obviously, like, Schumer didn't sign it. Gillibrand didn't sign it. Of course, Fetterman, Mark Kelly didn't. There's the list. I posted the list on Twitter. It's maddening. But like these people who are speaking up now and then immediately, like within 24 hours, not using their power to do something.
I know
that deserves nothing but contempt and shame and just everything else.
Yeah, the idea that and this is why I hated this Tommy Vitor tweet so much, was because it felt like this is going to be, it's laying down the groundwork for the excuse for why I'm going to vote against Palestine again. I'm going to vote against their interests, is because I told you guys, if you yell at them, they're going to just want to kill more. And, this is the constant refrain of anyone who is pro-Israel when it comes to the problem with everyone speaking out, is that, it's just going to make the Israeli army be more crazy. You're just going to make the politicians be more Zionist. And it's, to me, it's like a complete, I don't know. It's
did you see Anthony Blinken?
Responsibility.
Did you see Anthony Blinken the other day?
Oh my fucking God.
Yeah, that was mind blowing. I just saw that about an hour ago.
Yeah. You mean when he was in the interview saying that he wished that the left could just add a touch of contempt for Hamas,
and even wished the left could never stop thinking about October 7th.
Right.
What he said basically is, he gives this whole sob story about how his family, he lost family in the Holocaust, and that stuck with him. So October 7th really hit home. Like, guess what, dude? Me too. Like, my mom's entire side was fucking wiped out in the Holocaust. And, I've experienced the last 2 years in a way shaped by that too, and come to different conclusions. But anyway, what he says is, he acknowledges the terrible suffering of the Gazan people now. And he even keeps 2 photos of Palestinian families that he met on him and blah, blah, blah. Ugh. And then he says, you have to think that if the people who have come out and, protested, and I forget the words he uses, but basically the people that have spent all this time protesting Israel, if even 10% of that had been demanding that Hamas release the hostages, demanding that Hamas lay down its arms, you have to wonder where we'd be today. So he is quite literally saying maybe the protesters are the reason the genocide is going on. The ones who were right from the beginning, the ones who we were smearing when they were saying this is a campaign of extermination, maybe it's their fault that Israel's doing the thing that they said that they were going to do.
You're not like I hate this like degree of separation that these people try to impose with the way they speak about this, where you're just like, oh, I can only imagine what it would have been like if public pressure had been a little bit more even keeled. It's like, you mean you were the guy? You were the guy who was in power. You were the
holder of the leverage.
Yes.
Yeah, you tell us. You tell us
what would have been
differently.
Yes, and I'm sorry, but like again, it's complete abdication of responsibility, of taking that responsibility for it, because you are saying, damn, if only people had been 10% more, I don't know, annoying about like if people had said release the hostages under as a quote tweet of a Wiggles music video, the way people have been in the last like 22 months, then maybe okay, fine. If the protests against the genocide had also said all lives matter, just a little bit, like a small all lives matter section, maybe I would have, I don't know, come to an agreement. But no, you're the fucking guy.
If not only the Upper East Side had been blanketed by release the hostages posters, but also the East Village.
Right, exactly. It just pisses me off.
Actually, Hamas said, like, you only see those posters on the Upper West Side, so there's not enough pressure on us.
That's right.
Release the hostages. Had we been putting them up in Brooklyn, they might be free now.
We were looking in Hell's Kitchen, and
I guess
we saw
we'll
nothing.
never know. It's just such scumbag shit. And again, I say this with complete knowledge of the fact that Tommy Vitor is at least the one crooked media guy, or I guess pod save guy, who has been good on this issue. But I can't like this fallback to like blaming the online left is just. I'm so done with this mantra. It's so annoying.
Yeah. I mean, you have to like, I hope this moment is coming. I don't know when it will, and I don't know how mainstream it will be. But when people look back at specifically like the student activists at Columbia and wherever else, who said this is an emergency and we need to disrupt the status quo and treat it as an emergency. And there will come a time, I hope, when it is just conventional wisdom. They were right. They were absolutely right. This is an emergency. And if we don't all, do what we can to, throw things in the gears and make them stop, they're going to exterminate everyone. And now we're seeing what it looks like when people don't listen to that. And, I mean, it's just, I have nothing but contempt for people who are now saying, I mean, like the line on the right, or even just on the pro-Israel side is, well, the problem is they spent all that time lying. So it's hard to believe them about anything now. It's like, okay, you're right. 2 months ago, we were lying when we said famine was coming. But now famine is actually coming. Sorry, we lied 2 months ago.
I know. Exactly. This is good. That Hasbara line is so insane to me. Like, who do you expect to buy this shit? Like, who is this? How dumb do you think people are that they're going to be like, oh no, it's because the whole time you kept saying that a famine was coming, and now a famine's here and people don't believe you. We said it was coming. What are we
also like? What also do they think a famine is like an earthquake where it's like
right, exactly,
it's not here, and then suddenly it's here? No, it's like it's coming.
Yes,
you see it coming. Have you ever been hungry? Do you remember what it feels like to be hungry? You start, you feel something, and then like.
Yeah, and of course the realities of the kind of hunger Gaza. I mean, there was a Greenwald on System Update did a great interview with Alex DeWall, who's like a leading famine expert, and he went into great detail about the physical components of what starvation actually does to the body and what it's like, and it's unimaginable. Anyway, I'm wondering, guys, if we might want to slightly pivot to another story that you've reported on. Tommy Viator is still being not quite as bold as we want. He's being a little shy. And we want to talk about another little shy. It's this guy, and we're just going to play our favorite little bumper, even though, well, I'm going to say this. Shai looks white to me, but this is what he says.
Don't call me white. Don't call me white.
We're not going to talk about his whiteness today, but I just love that bumper
We have
so
a
much.
few Shai bumpers. I thought you were going to play this one.
Shy, shy, hush, hush.
Yeah, that's his main.
Yeah. We got
theme
a
song.
lot.
Hush, hush, Shai.
We do a lot of great work
it's
on this podcast, Jasper. We're a very important podcast with a very good bumpers. Okay?
Listen, I can't talk. I spent like 2 weeks reporting on this guy. So
Yeah, yeah. I can't even imagine, man.
So we want to talk about this for, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes, and then we'll
At
pivot
most.
to our last thing, at most. Because this is a live stream, you know what I'm going to say, Matt. You're going to live watch me take a break to stream. I'm going to just go to the bathroom.
Oh, you're going to go pee?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you need to, I'll hold down the phone.
Yeah.
Can you get this started with Jasper?
I can do it. Let's talk
man.
about it. While he goes pee, we're going to talk a little bit about Shai. This was a kind of an insane story. Shai Davidai, friend of the pod, was finally, after months of back and forth with his bosses, it looks like he has parted ways with Columbia University. And there was a little bit of controversy around what happened, why he left. Can you explain what happened with him in Columbia?
Yeah. Do I need to explain who he is, or does everybody already know?
I'll
give a very...
You feel whatever you feel.
Okay. Shai Davidai was an assistant business school professor at Columbia's School of Business. I think he taught marketing or something. And he became like the sort of face of the anti-student activist, anti-encampment movement. He was like throwing actual temper tantrums. Well documented.
Stomping his feet, saying we are not
his
okay.
Feet, I mean, like actually just acting like a toddler. But what he was also doing was, I need to be careful in how I say this. What he was reportedly doing was doxing and targeting and harassing students on Twitter. He had decided were terror supporters and anti-Semites and this and that. So we're talking about 18-year-old girls, teenagers, 20-somethings, Mahmoud Khalil, people like that.
Right.
He was definitively doing. I don't have to caveat this. He was constantly or regularly tweeting their names and calling them Hamas supporters and calling them terror supporters and calling them anti-Semites. He was saying things like they support the dismemberment of Jews. And these students, I spoke to 3 of them for this story, had all in various ways, through public channels, through private channels, begged him to leave them alone.
Right.
Like these were not people who were trying to be in the limelight. They were not like hoping to be in the middle of a controversy. Like one of the students, Layla, she had 14 family members in Gaza killed, and she was protesting it. And suddenly her face and her name was all over the internet because Davidai was putting it out there and accusing her of all these things. And so the students started getting death threats online. They were being confronted on campus. People would recognize them and having confrontations. And so they all went, or a lot of them went and filed complaints, harassment complaints at the Columbia's Office of Institutional Equity is the body that oversees discriminatory harassment complaints. I probably need to go faster. Basically, like nothing happens. He does at one point actually get temporarily suspended from campus because he reportedly was harassing school employees, not because of anything he did to the students, So he was like temporarily suspended from campus. But the investigation over his alleged harassment of students went on for almost 2 years with no results, no outcome. Oh, wow. Is that a romper that you're wearing, Daniel?
It looks like he's wearing a romper.
And he lost my train of thought. So basically what happens is 2-3 weeks ago, he publishes a letter on Twitter that, and he announces that he's out of Colombia. He's decided to leave Colombia. And at the same time, he publishes this letter that he got from the office that says the investigation concluded with no finding of wrongdoing.
Right.
Something like that. And on the same day, and I'm sorry for people who maybe like heard me explain this on Chapo already or whatever, but the same day, 2 of the students published the letters that they got from the office that said the investigation concluded because he's no longer at the university. And so it was finished with no findings whatsoever.
Right.
So the language was like conspicuously different. His was written in an ambiguous way that gave him the sort of plausible explanation that there were no findings of wrongdoings, because it's true. There were no findings of wrongdoings.
Right.
What it didn't include was that there were no findings because they didn't finish the investigation. Somehow, after almost 2 years, they were not able to finish it.
Members of the jury, have you come to a verdict? Yes, we have, Your Honor. In the matter of Shai Davidai versus the students he harassed, we find who gives a fucking shit. He's gone.
Yeah. He left. No, it's all good.
And so anyway, I got on the case. I got on the Shai case because I noticed that discrepancy, and I was like, well, which is it? There's 2 different stories here. And then I noticed a typo in the letterhead of the letter that Shai published. It said the Office of Institutional Equity.
Yes.
Instead of Office of Institutional Equity, whereas the student's letter had it spelled correctly.
Yeah,
and then when I
the
posted
font
that on
size
Twitter,
is different.
The fonts
too.
were off. The color was wrong. So I was just like, did he forge his letter?
Yeah.
Which
for you I think from the gate you said, so for the record, I just don't believe he could have possibly done something this stupid. It just feels too stupid.
I said I don't think it's as straightforward him forging it, because that would be just like the legal ramifications of that are so enormous. But something's up. Because how does a letterhead end up with a typo in it? Not in the letter, in the the letterhead that is just sort of stamped on. Yeah. So this is actually just a funny detail that I'll tell you guys. Right as I discovered this, I was on my way to a bachelor party, my friend Ben's bachelor party in Hudson, New York, and I actually was carpooling with Sam Cedar, which is kind of funny. And so this is unfolding in the car. And I'm like, Sam, look at this shit, like the letterhead. And then I get to the bachelor party, and like these friends are not plugged into the Shai Davidai beat because they're not out of their fucking minds.
Yeah, because they're normal guys.
They're normal people. And I was just like glued to my phone, and they're like, what are you doing? I was like, it looks like Shai Davidai might have forged his letter. And they're like, and so I spent the whole weekend both like doing a bachelor party while like investigating this on my phone and like at various points trying to explain the story to them.
Trying to explain Shai Davidai to a group of normal people.
In doing it, I was like thinking, wow, how did I arrive here?
Yeah, what have I become?
Not to cast any aspersions about what kind of bachelor party you're at, but I'm just imagining a guy getting a lap dance and the guy next to him is like, so did you hear about this Shai Davidai thing?
No, it was more like we were in the pool drinking, and I'd be like on the side of the pool on my phone and like turning around and be like, I just heard back from his lawyer, and they would just be like, okay, cool.
Don't care, dude. Don't care. We're gonna play golf later.
No, I mean, like they did a couple of the guys. Like one of them was like, okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'm getting in this with you. Fill me in. I'm gonna help you investigate. So that was cool. But anyway, so what I end up finding out is that his letter was written by an external body outside of the office. I don't know if it was outside of the university or just outside of the office, but I confirmed through multiple sources that his letter was written elsewhere and then just sent back to the office where the vice provost signed it, and then it was sent to Davidai, whereas the student's letter was actually written by the office. So I think the obvious thing this reveals is that, and the university also confirmed that his claim of being cleared of wrongdoing is false. It's a false claim.
Wow.
I can't say he's lying because maybe he thinks that it's true.
Oh. I love that's the legal loopholes you're gonna get.
I
know. I think lies all the time.
But what he's saying is false. He was not cleared of wrongdoing. And so what I found out, I mean, basically like putting two and two together, it was almost certainly, and I'm speculating here, but like a negotiated exit, because he had, become like the figurehead for the, anti-Semitism on campus. And so Columbia was very wary of like coming down too hard on him. So they let him leave, claim that it was mutual. And I don't know the truth behind that. Claim, they gave him this letter that allowed him to claim that he was cleared of wrongdoing. And in doing so, they were so sloppy that they accidentally revealed that like the whole thing was just orchestrated by people on the side.
Wow. It's just nuts that like the letterhead, I mean, so what this means is whoever is the one who drafted the letter was just like, okay, what is it supposed to say on the top? I'm going to create the letterhead myself.
Yeah.
And
also like
know who did it.
And like when it gets back to the office in Columbia for them to sign it, they're so just like, who the fuck cares? That they don't notice like not just a typo, the letterhead, just everything about it looks wrong.
Right.
It's literally just like the color's off, the font is off, there's a typo. It's like, and they couldn't be bothered to notice it.
Yeah.
Because they were just so like, get it out the door.
It's like an AI picture with 6 fingers, like
right.
Yeah. You just look at it and you're like, this was not generated by a human. Okay.
Who cares? Yeah.
What's his latest? Didn't he have some kind of epic rant? I've got booted off my Twitter account last week. Someone hacked it.
Yeah.
I'm grateful that they haven't been posting cringe or porn from it, but do we have something from today?
Yeah, I mean, he just posted this like ridiculous thread today, which is actually just exactly what we were talking about earlier about how people are like coming around.
Yes. He
so
wrote.
This is like him. This is something that he does. People should know.
Yes.
He takes this tone of being very reasonable and humane. He's not one of these crazies. He's against Beitar. He's like. He doesn't believe that all Palestinians are Hamas. So he takes this really, classic, just liberal.
Yes,
I'm a good
we are going to
guy.
get into this in detail in a moment.
Okay, and he uses that to sort of build some armor so that he can then lead his vile, nefarious campaigns.
Yeah, and it's a long-standing tradition in liberal Zionism, and he's less liberal than many. But
because we're running on limited time, and I know that we have a couple things. I would like to let's pivot to what's going on in the West Bank, because you've been reporting a lot about that recently, and we recently all, I think, witnessed a murder happen, with the one of the people who helped No Other Land create the documentary No Other Land was recently murdered by a settler out there. Jasper, you've written extensively about what's going on. Can you can you just fill us in into what's going on?
Masfer Yatta, which is the subject of No Other Land, like you said, is it's in the South Hebron Hills. It's like a mountainous community, and it's like various little villages sort of like spread out and connected by roads. I think there's like 19 villages and a couple thousand people, and like in the 80s or something, they're shepherding people. So they they're shepherds. They have livestock, sheep and goats, and that's how they've always gone by. In the 80s, I think the Israeli government or the IDF declared it like a military training zone, and in doing so, they built the legal permission structure to be able to demolish it and expel people. But there was a legal fight over it. there once upon a time, like it was possible to, you know, have some sort of like legal standing on these things. So there was a legal fight that lasted decades, I think. Don't quote me on that. But like 2 years ago, I think, the fight ended, and basically like their complaint was dismissed, meaning like the military now had the right to go and demolish it. Simultaneously, I won't go into this in too much detail, but between October 7th and this change in the way the West Bank is governed, where Smotrich basically consolidated power to be able to make every single decision about what happens in the West Bank. Between those things, settlers had already become much more emboldened to build settlements and raid Palestinian villages. And so like what people are seeing now, the increase in settler violence and things, that started before October 7th. That increase started in February 2023 when Smotrich came in and like just took control of the whole system and like instructed the police and the military to stop enforcing laws against settlers and all these things. So basically like No Other Land was filmed almost entirely before, or it was filmed entirely before October 7th.
Right.
And it was about how the Israeli civil administration, which is like a branch of the IDF, which oversees the West Bank, was gradually knocking down their homes and, you know, taking over their land. And the settlers who live up the hill would come in and terrorize them. And then at the very end of that film, there's this video of, this is on October 13th, 2023. A group of settlers come down from the settlement, or no, it was not a settlement, it's an illegal outpost, come down from the top of the hill and just shoot a guy in the stomach from about a foot away. That was Zachariah Adra, who is Basil. People might know Basil from the film, No Other Land, his cousin. I went to Masriata twice and spent a lot of time with Zachariah and with his family, and did some reporting on the effort to bring the guy to justice who did it, because it's on film. They know exactly who shot Zachariah. His name is Yitzhak Nir. His father was a convicted terrorist. He's a very well-known figure. There's no question about it. They know exactly who it is. And, to make a long story short, he was never held accountable. And there was one point where they managed to drag him into court to, it was to get, like some sort of a restraining order that would prevent him from being able to go back into the village. And the attorney who was present for it told me that the entire time he was smiling. And so, because I asked, this was actually at a time, this was like well over a year ago. And at the time I didn't quite understand yet just how deeply rooted the evil is in every one of them. And so I asked, did it look like he felt any remorse? Like knowing that he clearly shot an innocent guy, or even like, did he look a little scared that he might get in trouble? And the attorney is like, oh no, he was smiling the entire time. And so anyway, that guy walked free. So fast forward to, you don't have to fast forward. At the exact same time, in July of 2024, 972 magazine publishes an article by, I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, but I think Odeh Hathalin, who was a resident of Masriata in a town called Unker, who has 4 children, and he's a teacher, and he's an activist, and he was part of the film No Other Land. And he writes a piece. I want to just read part of it, if that's okay.
Sure.
Yeah, it's called, Adam, if you want to try to get it up on the screen, I tweeted this out like a couple hours ago. But the piece is called In al-Khair, the occupation is damning us to multi-generational trauma. And he writes, I saw the first bulldozers arrive in my village 17 years ago. Now, after the most brutal weeks in our history, my son will carry similarly painful memories. And then just like a couple passages, he talks about how when he was a kid, he would see the bulldozers come in and it would terrify him. And now he has his own children. He says, now as a parent myself, I've tried to shield my 4-year-old son from this harsh reality as much as possible so that he will not have to carry the same memories that I did. But sometimes, no matter how good a father you are, there are things you cannot control. And the past weeks have been some of the worst we've ever experienced. And then later in the article, he says, he even, talking about his son, he even knows some of the settlers by name. Sometimes I tell him that they went to jail. I'm lying, but I want to make him feel safe. But he still sees his grandmothers, his cousins, and his aunts collapsing on the ground in front of him. It's a tough memory, and I know that it will stick with him. Since the attacks, my son has started stuttering, an entirely new symptom and one that terrifies me. The doctor told us that the best treatment for stuttering is a safe environment. But this is what we cannot guarantee for our children. In Al-Khair, no one is in a safe place. And then at the very end, he says, why is the world not acting to achieve justice for Palestinians? Most of the time we feel tired. The attacks, the raids, the demolitions, we think about them all the time. I always say that I wish fate hadn't brought us to this point, but now we are stuck here. There's no way to leave. Okay.
Wow.
That village in the year between when he wrote that in almost exactly a year ago, July 2024, was fully demolished. It was one of the first villages in Masriata that they actually just wiped out. They took down either every single building or almost every single building. I actually don't know where those people are living now. I assume they've been sort of integrated into the other villages there. But the settlement is now building a new neighborhood on top of where they were. Right. And the people who live there are going out and trying to stop it. Yesterday, a group of settlers came into the village with a bulldozer, and a group of Palestinians came out, including Odeh Hathalin, whose piece I just read, come out to try to stop them. And there's video, which I'm sure a lot of people have seen. First of all, the bulldozer swinging and hitting somebody in the chest, or hitting somebody and knocking them unconscious. And I don't know that person's condition right now. And then there's a settler who you see confronting the crowd, waving a gun around. He looks psychotically evil.
Completely
deranged. And then he just starts firing. Yeah. And he shoots and kills Odeh Hathalin, the person who I just mentioned. He shoots him in the chest and kills him.
Yeah, and this was tweeted out by Yuval Abraham when
Basil's
it happened.
co-director.
Yeah, and this was yesterday. This was tweeted out. An Israeli settler just shot Odeh Hathalin in the lungs, a remarkable activist who helped us film No Other Land in Masfer Yatta. Residents identified Yinon Levy, sanctioned by the EU and US as the shooter. This is him in the video firing like crazy.
And what I love, I mean, I hate everything about that, but me, word guy, I've mentioned, I think that the word sanctioned means two different things that are the opposite of each other.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I think what Yuval is talking about, there must be some kind of, this guy is on some kind of list of dangerous.
No. He was sanctioned. So the only good thing that Biden did, I just lost you guys. I'm just talking to my desktop now, but you can hear me, right?
Yeah, we hear you. We see you.
The only good thing that Biden did for the Palestinians was he sanctioned for these like notoriously violent settlers. And at the time I thought, this is so insufficient and what a joke, which it is obviously, but I was actually told by some people on the ground that it has actually like put a chill on some of the violent settlers. On Trump's first day in office, he removes the sanctions from them, including from this guy, the guy who just murdered Odeh. And I want to just find Adam. Can you go onto my Twitter account or I'll drop in the chat actually.
Yeah. Put it in the whatever link you want in the private chat, and I can try and display it.
Okay, sorry. I keep telling Adam to do things. I don't know.
Just you're running shit. Just to finish the thought, like the word sanctioned also means to permit something, and these settlers, effectively by U.S. and U.K. policy, are 100%. I don't care what individual, opprobrium is sent to certain extremist individuals. The whole settler project, which, by the way, just a side note from your Chapo interview, the thing that stuck out to me the most, the thing you said, I just haven't been able to shake, is that these kids in the settlement outposts. What did you say about where they come from?
Yeah, this is a story that was in Haaretz a couple of weeks ago. when you see videos of what we call the hilltop youth, which is like these young, the videos, because Will Menaker called them feral deputized street urchins. Like they're hideous, they're dirty, their hair, they're just like look like these little monsters. Some of them were like basically street kids in Israel proper.
In the foster care system.
And in the foster care system. And the illegal outposts in the West Bank got themselves registered as foster homes so they could adopt them.
Yeah.
So they were adopting these foster kids from Israel and then deploying them to be terrorizing Palestinian villages.
So taking the most traumatized, disorganized psychologically and emotionally, rootless, directionless, chaotic, and unstable, young, unformed, still forming individuals in Israeli society, which is the product of the Israeli state and the trauma that state entails and imposes on everyone, including its own citizens, taking those kids and weaponizing their trauma against the Palestinians. It's a tale as old as Israel.
I mean, that is... It's sick. It's sickening because it's like, first of all, it's it's child soldiers. It is. That's what that is.
Yeah.
And it's like, at least like in Oliver Twist, at least Fagin was just like steal some wallets. Like this is like stealing orphans so that or having orphans.
And it needs to be said that like these settlers, they look like maniacs and they look like the attacks look random, but they're actually highly coordinated. Like the settlers will target a specific village and they'll say, okay, we're going to get these people out. They will build an outpost nearby and then they'll send in the kids, sometimes adults too, of course. They'll send them in night after night after night to terrorize them, to light their land on fire, steal their livestock. And in some cases, the people then get up and leave. And so the settlers are actually organized and coordinated in their method of dispossession in partnership with the state who's backing them. Just that thing I wanted to show, Matt, if you could just pull up the photo from that tweet. This is the guy who shot Odeh and
yesterday.
This is a day later. They brought him into court for a sham hearing, which is what they do. A police officer was there claiming that it was in self-defense. A member of the Knesset showed up to support him and call him a hero and a pioneer of the national land. And this is him smiling as he walks out of the court and is heading home. So
is he going to like house arrest or something? Like
I think he was put under house arrest, which means literally nothing because he lives in an illegal outpost. Well, actually, I don't know if he lives in a settlement or an outpost, but like I'll tell you this. I will not be surprised if we see video in the next couple of weeks of him back in Masriata with a bulldozer. I think in all likelihood, he will be back there soon. Maybe there will be enough international backlash that they'll tell him, just stay back for a little bit. But like, look at how relaxed he looks and happy. Like, and he's going to return home to a hero's welcome. And what I have been saying is like, people need to think about what it means for the people who live in Masriata, who know that this psychopath who knows that he can kill with impunity is their next door neighbor.
Yeah.
That's what Zachariah's family is living with. The guy who shot him and nearly killed him lives up the hill from them. And on
a more sort of long-term level, you look at his face, you look at his physiognomy. He's not just their next door neighbor, but 4 generations ago, he's their grandparents or great-grandparents are living next to each other. Right. In any number of Arab Muslim societies. I mean that's an Arab right there. That's an Arab who's been convinced that he's an Israeli. That's an Arab Jew who's been convinced that
is he Mizrahi?
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah.
I mean, you see that all the time, and it's just the amount of, and maybe we need to get a psychologist or someone in to explain the kind of like the way in which the state and the ideology of the state has like supplanted parenthood with a lot of these, with a lot of these settlers. I mean, obviously, what you're talking about, Jasper, with the, it's very explicitly the point when you have orphans that you're doing this to, but you just see it so much. I don't know. As this is a weird thing to say, but as a dad, sometimes I look at like these like terrorists, like the Hilltop Boys, and I go like, where the fuck are the parents? And that's a stupid thing to say.
They don't. In some cases, they don't have them, but in other cases, their parents are right there with them.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
I just want to say one more thing about the West Bank before I have to jump. What is happening in Gaza right now is, I think, like we can all agree, one of, if not the greatest atrocities we've ever witnessed. I'm not going to like say it's better or worse than the Rwanda genocide or something like that, but at least certainly since I've been like old enough to pay attention to these things, it is the greatest atrocity I've witnessed. One that obviously our tax dollars are supporting.
Right.
And we all should be directing our rage and anger at what is being done to Gaza. But you could take Gaza completely out of the picture. You could just, let's say we go back to before October 7th and just say like, they're being left alone for the most part. There's a blockade, but whatever. Without Gaza in the picture, what's happening in the West Bank alone is one of the greatest geopolitical crimes I've ever witnessed.
Yeah.
It is reason enough to send in peacekeepers and to sever all ties with the government that is supporting what is being done to the Palestinians there. And so it is hard to pay attention to what's happening in Gaza and pay attention to what's happening in the West Bank. And also, like, apparently there's stuff happening here in the United States too. It's hard to keep it all straight, but I've heard that, they're building an American Gestapo and all these other things. Mm-hmm. But I just want to like encourage people to keep their eye on the West Bank, because it's getting worse and worse. Yeah. And the people like Smotrich know that people are not paying attention to it.
And there's no better window through which to do so, at least in the world of independent media, than your Substack. So I hope people will.
Thank you.
Will tune in, will subscribe, will support you, because you're doing vital work. And the way that you're able to keep your eye on so many things at once. I know you say you can't cover it all, but you have an incredibly capacious, view screen that is of benefit to all of us. So thank you for that, and thank you for joining us on this live stream.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else? Did I miss anything? I got 2 more minutes if we...
I mean, you pretty much got it. If you want to spend 2 more minutes, you can sing a little parody song if you want. If you've thought of a way to, do a Bruce Springsteen impression, you can take this moment
I'm very bad at impressions. My friends all know this about me.
You've tried multiple.
No, I mean,
why don't you just recite these words? Hey, little girl, is your daddy home? Has he gone and left you all alone?
I'm not gonna even do that. It's gonna sound bad. Okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna go. All right.
Okay. Fair enough. Bye, Jasper. Thanks
Peace,
for coming
Jasper.
on. Oh man,
good man.
Yeah, he's really. I mean, he's a great journalist, a great guest, and I mean, truly, a very attractive man.
He gets my donate button lubricated. That's for sure.
Oh, that got explicit. We're talking about a lubricated button here. I just want to shout out everyone who's been donating. We are. Adam, what are we at now? Okay, so with the chuffed link, we are at 26.
That's English for stoked.
Oh, is that what that means? I thought
chuffed. Yeah, I'm right. Chuffed, like it means excited. It means
the whole time. Because like for me, it's like when I ride a bike for too long, and then
your thighs get chuffed. Yeah,
and my thighs get chuffed. We're at 26,365 pounds on chuffed. We started at 18. Wow. So did we make another 8,000? That's wild.
And that's even without the super chats.
Yeah. And
we're
then,
getting close to 10,000 pounds.
My God.
But let's keep going, guys.
Yeah, let's keep going. Keep donating. Keep doing either the chuffed link or the super chats. We're getting all this money to the Gaza City Flower Fund that is doing a lot of great and necessary work. Shout out to Mohsen and shout out to Harley.
Yeah,
both heroes in my book. Before
Matt, how much do you have in the tank in terms of fuel and time?
I have like less than 10 minutes because I've got.
Well, then we'll save the article I wanted to show until Friday for our Patreon only episode.
Yeah. We'll save it for the Patreon, and I guess while we're here for the last few minutes, maybe we read out some super chats. Is that a thing?
Hell yeah, that's a great idea.
That's what we should do, right?
Yep.
That's what people do.
And I think we can access those if we click on Starred.
Oh yeah, look at that.
See right next to Live.
Yeah.
And that goes all the way back to like 1:12 p.m., which
damn, you guys
was almost 2 hours ago.
That's crazy. So let's do it.
So here's one that's nice. Thank you, Magnum Weight, for the $5 donation. Little chaser for the donation I just did in the link. You guys set an unrealistic standard for being handsome, funny, and moral for most men.
Oh, thank you. I love
that.
Blow
those standards wide open. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man, we feel good.
Joseph says this piggy needs you all to come to Austin. Boy, would we ever love to.
Yeah. We would love to do that. Thank you, Joseph, for your $5. Thank you to Colin Chipeka, getting one in early. Love y'all. Free Palestine. And he did $5 Canadian. And then we had
a lot of Canadians in the chat today.
Yeah. We got to go to Austin, but also we got to go to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we got a lot of Canadian people who would see us.
Victoria, Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, Regina, Saskatoon. I'm just naming literally all the cities in Canada, and I would be done in 10 seconds if I kept going.
Yeah.
So anyway,
a little chaser for the donation.
That's the one I just read.
You just read that. Yeah. And then
that was a note from BCat to Adam. The next one.
We're good at this.
We are. MB, another Canadian. $27.99. Thank you. Let's just read what they said. Such dark times. We're all desperate for this to end. Thank you both. You're the best. Much love from Tirana.
Thank you.
Thank you. Love to you too.
Magnum Weight, $2. Homer Voice, and who could forget Rat Boy? And then what is that?
Verena?
Yeah, Verena Fraser, who of course is a longtime listener and supporter of this podcast. Sorry for not saying your name and having to ask.
I don't think I've ever met an American named Fraser. All the Frasers, it's a very Canadian last name. There's a Fraser River. Brendan Fraser, is he not Canadian though? Maybe he's American.
He might be Canadian. I don't know. I thought he was from Encino.
Maybe he's an Encino man. Yeah. Thanks for helping us all through the last 22 months. Thank you for being there, Verena, to be helped and to show up and be part of this community. He played Dudley Do Right. Close enough. There we go. Someone is trying to dox the love life of our guest. Jasper is single and lives in Brooklyn, New York.
Yo BG, $19.99. Thank you so much for that. Then we have
another Canadian. Arms
Bar.
Embargo Now just put out a scathing, detailed report of how Canada has been continuing to support Israel's genocide of the Palestinians. Barb LC, if you're still there, put in the chat a link to that so people can find it. Okay.
Yeah. Oh man, we got a lot of these that we. I imagine we were displaying them on screen as the show was going.
Yeah, we
on.
are. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. But let's make sure everyone got a taste. Look at that, 100 from Kyle. We love you. Jules, $9.99. I love you. Carol, who's
Happy sober birthday, Matt.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
16 years, baby.
16 years, clean and sober. That's right, motherfuckers. No more drugs and alcohol for me. I
dedicated my last big gulp sized cup of lean to you when I.
Oh, thank you.
To your sobriety when I was sipping it last night.
When you're just sipping on lean. I also want to explain. There was and I'm sure this was in bad faith, but some people were just like, "You're sober? Look at your eyes." motherfuckers. I'm I'm allergic to everything, and I'm pretty sure I'm immune to Visine. I can't help that my eyes look like this.
And you're the father of a toddler, and you're
tired.
You're tired. You're not in your home city.
Yeah, but that's always. My eyes are, even when I'm at home, people are like, "Are you high?" No, I'm not high. My eyes are just red. It's for the last time. I'm not high. I've just been crying. Let's do.
That's like that suicidal tendency song. It's just like, Mom, I just want a Pepsi. You're not giving me a Pepsi? You're on drugs. No, Mom, I'm not on drugs. I just want a Pepsi.
All I wanted was a Pepsi. Thank you, Sparrowhawk, $30. Thank you, Frida, $10.
Lots of good puns.
Yes, thank you, Barb. We did
Barb
that.
again.
Thank you.
That was a different one from Barb.
Thank you,
Barb
Barb
came
again.
back from more double dip.
Super sticker. Well, I don't know what it means, but thank you for $20.
Robin Don. I think that people can purchase like special emojis or special like little graphics they can post.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to do this as fast as possible.
I will shut up.
Let's see.
Marina.
Yeah.
Hadley.
Who's doing the clicking? Every time I click, another one pops up. Adam, are you doing the clicking?
My hands up. Don't shoot.
Adam, do me a favor and control all the clicking. You start doing the clicking. I'll just read whatever you click. Okay. Come on.
His hands are up too.
Oh, all right, fine. Okay. Adam. Frida, thank you for the $10. Barb, again, thank you for the $5 Canadian. Super sticker from Faze Zahar.
Feza Hizar.
Haley, $10. Thank you. Marina Nemes, $2. Yes. People are really doing this. Morano, $49.99. Ron. There's Ron. Nintendo Days, super sticker, 99 cents. That's good. Thiago Porto, $5 R. Russian. Kai Suzy, Canadian.
Russian $5. Dollars, Matt? What are the odds that the currency in Russia is Russian dollars?
All right. To be honest, I didn't think when I said it.
That will be 10 Ruski bucks, please.
Yes. Rubles. I don't give a fuck. Okay. Mo gave us $49.99 for Gaza City Flower Fund. Ian Wenger said $50 Canadian. Greetings from Daniel's most moral Saltzman Wenger cousins in Vancouver at Montreal. Viva la Palestine Libre. Beautiful. Thank you. Joseph George, $10. The British also starved India. True. Travis.
Although, Joseph George, I have to say your name sounds like it could have been the name of a British general who starved India. No offense. Sir Joseph George was known for his plunder of Hyderabad or whatever.
Colonel. Do they say colonel or do they say colonel out there? Lieutenant. Lieutenant Colonel.
Lieutenant Colonel.
Yeah. Travis, $5. Let's get these people some flour. Adrian Fenton, $20. Super sticker, thank you. And
Space Pilot Perks.
SEK.
I think that's Swedish kroners, maybe?
Yeah. Like some sort of Swedish money. Like Swedish fish or something. $4.99 from Down with Genocidal Maniacs. I like your username. Preston Kroll, $100. I came to donate flour. I remember that joke. Rad Mike, $19.99. Happy Soberversary, Matt. Free Palestine. Thank you, Rad Mike. Rebecca Wiseming, Salamander. Or
Camerlander.
$20 in Europe money. Preston made me laugh so hard that money fell out of my purse.
Maybe she means the Billy Preston album.
Yeah.
Or maybe there was someone called Preston in the chat. Brown Buckaroo, super sticker, 125. Hammer and sickles? What the fuck is that?
Yeah, Comrade Bucks.
Those are crazy symbols. What is that?
Shit? 50.
That's like
50 wave dollars.
That's some planet on Andor. Like that's Ferrix money.
Yeah. So thank you for the credits. Chloe K, 19.99 pounds.
You want me to read them, tired boy?
Do I sound that tired?
Yeah,
Okay,
you're
fine.
like you're slow. You're like strained. You're getting them wrong.
All right, you do it. I'm never good at reading.
I know. Nuteo Nuva with $20. Keep up the good work, y'all. Thank you. Same to you. Pega, 119 euros. Merci.
Pega, I just met her. See, now I can have fun.
Exactly. That Pega sus. Love to the most moral co-host and the most moralist chat. Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Nico, fuck Israel IBR. What is IBR? You kids every day. You got new abbreviation. Ian again, $200 Canadian. Found some money on top of the bookshelf. Thanks, eh?
Nice.
Michael Quinlan, 10 euros. Gaza horrors, foot soldiers. I'm loving all these GHF puns.
Yes.
Georgina Rulis, maybe Australian dollars, $5. Maya, you take. So I think that might be in Maori or some language from down under. Down with genocidal maker again. Maniacs with $19.99. Thank you.
Wow.
AGPLN $11.99. Keep up with the good work.
We will.
Bademoiselle, I love that handle.
That's
Canadian
a great
$27.99. MSM says Gaza is starving, but something. Matt changed it to.
I didn't change it. I'm not touching it.
But Gaza is being starved. Yes, exactly. They're not starving. They're being starved. Jared 777. Thank you guys. Thank you, Jared, for the $49.99. Riz at 10 quid. Gaza, gross, or global hunger facilitators. Sorry if this posted twice, but then again, more money for Gaza. Hell yeah.
That's right. Feel free to post twice. Emmy Goldheart, $5. Thank you. Emmy is a longtime super fan. We love you, Emmy.
Thanks, Emmy.
I hope it's not pronounced M, because then I said Emmy a bunch. Either way, you do great work.
I'm going to say
Nico,
M.
Nico gave $13.12. Okay. I wonder if there's a significance to it, but thank you.
He calls it the most moral string of numbers.
Yeah, all right. Let's see.
Happy status.
You do it.
Happy status. You just release the control. The podcast is in good hands. You just sit back and riff and vibe. It's all good. Everyone is safe. You're safe.
Good.
Happy status. €5. Genocidal Hasbara front. Very good. Abdel Rahman Karib. Egyptian, whatever you guys spend over there. 100 of those. Hearts from Egypt. Thank you. Magda Len, Canadian, $200. Thank you. I wasn't allowed to write what I wanted. They won't let me send money. And I think she's got a little rebus there with those.
Oh, yeah.
I think
we got an upside down triangle. We got that looks like a death symbol. 2. And oh yeah, I see what they're doing. Yeah,
Bobby Villain. Bobby Villain
we're
agrees.
Doing a little bit of that and doing a little bit of Margarita Bar America is what she's trying to say.
Deaf to the GHF. Mm-hmm. Joseph George, again, Central Commander of the subcontinent. I apologize, Joseph. But I'm never going to let that go. The Conqueror of Bombay. I quit watching ContraPoints after her silly Radlib video against Revolution. We always support you ceasing watching other content creators in favor of us. Ahmad Abdel Kader, $200. Thank you, Ahmad. Thank you. Nico, Israel is an op. Well, sure.
Oh, yeah. We agree
Joseph
with that.
George, one more time. I'm so sorry, Joseph. You're so great.
We love you.
But I can't resist it.
Yes, I fired upon them. And no, I don't regret doing it.
Also known as the Plunderer of Punjab. Haley T, $10. Tell Israel to release the hostages. Deb Bush, $200. Thank you for your podcast and willingness to speak the truth. Thank you, Deb. Linky G, $49.99 in the pounds. Harley, I love you and I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much, everyone, for your amazing donations to the Flower Fund. Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Papa Freud, another £49.99, not to be outdone. Palestine, we see you, we cry for you, and you will be free from a survivor of the genocide against the Tutsi. Wow, thank you. That means a lot. Thank you. Roy Sheen Malone, I know that it's pronounced Roy Sheen because I met a couple of Roy Sheens when I was in Ireland, and they're both, of course, Palestine supporters. That's €10 right there from Ireland. Thank you. Brundle Dan, Bulldoze Tel Aviv. That's a David Cronenberg, The Fly reference. And I would know that even without your little picture. Remember Brundlefly?
Oh, I thought you meant bulldoze Tel Aviv. I was like, I need to see that movie.
More like vomit acidic fly guts onto Tel Aviv, which is what Goldblum did. Zainab, $20 Canadian. Bismillah ar-Rahman al-Rahim, which is it's how the daily prayers start, right? Mm-hmm. Or one of them. Pega, thank you for the euros. Mm-hmm. 60 almost. Zijad Jike Dekovic.
No one mentioned that settlers are mostly severe psychiatric cases.
We did, actually. Probably after you posted that.
Maybe, yeah, probably after, yeah.
Yeah. Joseph George again.
The Crusher of Kashmir.
$10. It's like how Italian Americans and Irish Americans had to enforce white supremacy for decades before they got accepted by mainstream America as white. Yes, that's what I was saying about the Israelification of the Arab Jews. Marks and angles. I like that. $50 Canadian. Resistance is justified when people are occupied. Yes. Brian O. $100. Thank you.
With a heart. Thank you.
Daniel Saunders, $50. Thank you for the Palestinian flag and the donation. Rinat, that could be an Israeli name. Thank you so much for the $5. Connie Kitty, $20. Hi guys, thank you so much for all you do. Free Palestine.
And F
is Ria
Yell.
Yeah. Carol, €20. Thank you. I think you say 20 euro.
20 euros is too many sandwiches.
In Canada, when you get drunk, you don't say I drank 6 beers. You say I drank 6 beer.
I didn't know that.
6 beer. Yeah, Bob and Doug McKenzie behind that. If you listen to that album, Rick Moranis.
Sure.
Yeah. Speaking of which, when we were talking about Stone, how you said.
I thought Stone could also be pence or pounds or
right. Yeah. Exactly. I came up with a very bad album title for a British alcoholic comedian or a overweight alcoholic British alcoholic. It'd be 4 stone and 7 beers ago.
Oh, I love it.
Thank you. Valgrind, $50, super sticker. Thank you. Dwight, $2. I can't believe we haven't lost viewers. We're still at 640. I can't believe
it's crazy.
People are sitting and watching.
People are sticking around. They're just like, I just want to see them read the names.
Get your super stickers in now before we stop. Thank you for doing this. Robin Donald, $10. Thanks for your humor. Seriously, nothing as serious as humor. Amen. Hadley, Sheffield, DD to the ED to the IDF. $5. Thanks. SHK, $5. Thanks for keeping me up on where to donate for Gaza. Congrats on your sobriety, Matt. I'll have one for you later.
Oh yeah, please. In my honor, everyone drink and drive home.
Everyone drink and mistreat the people around you.
Yeah.
Pal Christian Anderson, Norwegian kroners, I think. $200. DJ Squared House, $10. I don't know how I would have held on to my sanity the last 22 months without you guys barely hanging on. Thanks to you and all of your guests for speaking up. P.S. Watch the breaking points from today.
Oh, I'd rather. Breaking points.
We need to have not controversy. We need to have Crystal Ball on.
Oh yeah. Crystal Ball. If you can hear us,
look into yourself.
Look into yourself. Yeah.
Teresa Hopkins, $2. I donated $15 to the Gaza Flower Fund. Thank you for the $17 total. Michael Shemesh, good Hebrew name. Shemesh means sun in Hebrew, like the sun in the sky. $420. Oh, good number there.
Oh,
for your sobriety.
That's what's up. Hell yeah.
Bing, 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 bong.
Yeah.
From the river.
Yo.
From the river to the sea, yous bring me sanity.
Thank you, Mr. Sun, Mr. Golden Sun. Truth Teller.
More Norwegian.
249 Norwegian Woods. Thank you from the north of the polar circle.
Jasper gives me Norwegian wood. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean?
Haley D.
Shout out to Harley Motion and the Do Not Worry pod. Oh yeah, shout out to Do Not Worry. I love those guys.
Who's the host of that we had on?
Anthony Sargon. Yeah.
Fubar, $19.99 on the pound scale. Thanks for doing this podcast, boys. You keeping me sane and teaching me a buttloads Really, a metric buttload, an imperial buttload has really been a silver lining in 2 shit years. Come to London, England, not Ontario. Oh, you don't have to specify, Fubar. There's no way we would voluntarily go to London, Ontario. Those Londonites can come to Toronto if they want to see us. ZDGRO Canadian 10. I came here to chew bubblegum and give flour, and I'm all out of bubblegum. Mamut Snow Meow, $10. Swedish fish and chips. Palestine shall and will be free, inshallah.
Thank you.
FD Jan, 199.99. I've been asking this since the Noah stream, but now that Daniel is here, I am once again asking if we can get Gabor Mate to read us a bedtime story. Let me tell you something. Gabor Mate, for all of his quirks and complications, man, oh man, he told great bedtime stories. He had this running series with all 3 of us kids, and my sister is 13 years younger than me, called Percy and Siam, about a parrot and an elephant who live in the Budapest Zoo. And Siam eats watermelon mush, and they have all kinds of adventures with villains like the Abalone brothers and the Babyloni brothers. He made up these things, these characters, these stories completely from his own imagination, and they were wonderful and hilarious.
I would love to get a little bit of Percy and Siam, you know what I mean?
I don't know what you mean.
Percy.
It's actually pronounced Persai.
All right. Well, guys, I'm tired.
I mean, I don't know what. Talk to Fran. I don't know what to tell you.
Percy.
Hey, we want some Percy.
Shout out to all the OG Fraudcast fans who know about Percy Coffee Money.
Okay.
We've got a few more to read out. I do have to put my child down. I feel bad. Is there a way?
$3, free Palestine. Valgrind, $100. Thank you. Keep going. Near Lifshitz, there's a fantastic Hebrew name. Ferrex Point, Star Wars credits, 200. Thank you. Brett Williams, $1. Thank you. Malik Mana, thank you for the CHF 50. Lorraine, €6. Thank you. Rebecca, Whizbig, Camerlander, one more time, coming back for more, €20. Carol, $50. Super sticker, amazing, €50. Joy H, $1.99. Thank you. Zach Frank Music, thanks for the $10.
And that's it. That's everyone. Zach Frank got that under the wire. Guys, we will announce how much we made in the super stickers and super chats in the next episode.
And listen up. If you're watching this on replay, whether on YouTube or this will go on our podcast feed, right?
That's right. Yeah, this will be
unedited,
on the podcast feed.
The least editing work that producer Adam's ever had to do. He's so excited. He gets the week somewhat off. Because I'm not, we're not editing. Please don't decline to donate just because it's not live. Go donate. Just keep piling on the flour bags.
Yes, yeah. Just because the stream ends doesn't mean that you shouldn't donate. So please donate wherever you can. The link is going to be in the description, and so you can donate at any point and share the link and tell everyone about it. For a final total on that chuffed.org link, it looks like we started at 18. And we're ending at £28,000 plus super chats. I mean, so we've added $10,000 in 2 hours to the chuffed link.
Way more than 10,000 because those are pounds.
Oh yeah, 10,000 pounds, which is however many dollars.
It's at least 2 stone.
Oh, that's a lot of fish and chips, Mr. David Beckham. So thank you guys so much for all your donations, and thank you to Jasper, Nathaniel, for coming on the pod again and talking with us about all of this stuff. We added another 2,000 pounds in the last few minutes, producer
Amazing.
Adam says. It is just super nuts. We're so stoked about it.
Right.
And thank you guys all out there for listening. And we love you a bunch.
Good luck in Seattle, Matt. Have great shows.
It's going to be a lot of fun. If you're out and you're seeing me and my wife in Seattle, come say hi. Patreon.com/badhasbara, badhasbara@gmail.com for your questions, comments, and concerns. All right, Daniel, let's end this. From the river to the sea.
Gord bless you all for your generosity. By Gord, I mean Gordon Lightfoot. Am I right?
Yeah, Percy. All right, guys. Bye.